Since I wrote my notes here, I had 9 managers managing the first game. It will be 10,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, there may well be a new one in at
Yeah.
Hillsborough, but we'll see what's going on there.
Mm.
So Struber, Jukirovic, Edwards, Manning, Stefan, Seles, Still, Petzolano, Mason, and somebody in at Leicester.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about Rob Edwards and
Yes.
Ryan Mason? I don't know about you, whether you were doing the interviews or what. I felt quite uncomfortable watching Rob Edwards at the start of last season. He looked
Mm.
stressed out, and
Mm.
he was all handsome Rob going viral and all of that, and he's got
Yeah.
big bags under his eyes, and he
Yeah.
sounds defeated. Do you think he bounces back now, because he's brilliant
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
then up at Middlesbrough?
I think he does. I mean, and forgive me for sounding overtly positive in these situations because I know Rob. I've done it. I remember, and with Ryan, I did an interview with him a very long time ago on a program that we used to have on Sky, and we chatted a lot about obviously the injury that led to his very, very premature retirement, and the way he spoke very coherently and delicately about that. We'll come on to him in just a second. But with Rob, you're absolutely right. I texted him when he'd come away from Luton. And again, every time you see him, it's like, hello, you big handsome bugger. And he's very magnanimous with that. As only the truly beautiful could be.
Yeah,
And,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I wouldn't
stop.
know.
Well, mate, I'm in your boat, so don't worry. You know what I mean? We're built for character, my friend. You and I.
Well, and you have the cojones to wear your hair long in your career as well in the football space, which, as you know, is difficult. Carry on.
I tell you what is character building: having hair like ours, mate, and playing away at Millwall. You should try that one of these days.
Mate, they're always nice to me. To be fair, they're always nice to me.
Well, I think. I mean, I'm trying to wonder. I won't say the word that it ran with what they were singing back in the day because it's quite easy to guess what it was. Maybe it's because I was wearing leggings to warm up in as well. They just thought, "What
you
is
just,
this?"
You just did it to wind them up, then, didn't you?
Pretty much. Yeah, touching my toes. But I think he the job that he did off that emotional year that he had of coming away from Forest Green, going into Watford ridiculously getting rid of him. You move into Luton, you don't know what the aspirations and expectations are. You get them into the Premier League, and then everything that happens with Tom Lockyer as well. I hope that that's not always going to be the case, even though I've just reaffirmed it and mentioned it again. When we did the playoff final, and obviously Tom got taken off the pitch, and he came and spoke to us afterwards. He had no idea what happened. He knew what happened, but he had no idea what the situation was with Tom. And we'd flashed up a tweet that his dad had put up and a picture that Tom was in bed, thumbs up. And you could see he had to catch his breath. He couldn't talk because he was that upset. You saw what happened again in the Bournemouth game in the Premier League season. And I think as a man that was a leader in every sense of the word of that football club, I just think he took everything on board that everybody was feeling pretty much across the whole club. So therefore, and you see this in managers a lot, and I say this to them all the time when either they come on with us after a little break or they normally give you a shout when they are looking to get back into it. Oh, can I just come on? And you go, yep, no worries at all. Especially if they're good people, I don't mind that at all. And they do come in and there is a bit of a glow. You know what I mean? The eyes have brightened up a bit. There's less of that pale pallor, and you kind of go, it's enjoying not retirement in between clubs, and they're like, yeah, hell yeah, but I want to get back. And I think hopefully that's where we find Rob, because as you say, he looked stressed, he looked knackered, and these are all things that I said to him at the time. When I texted him, get yourself off on holiday, go and concentrate on something else. I mean, he needs me to tell him, he'd have done that anyway, but go and get a bit of sun on your back, go and lie and do sod all. Go and lie and do sod all, other than be with the ones that you love and then come back when you're ready to go. And I think there is a slight one manager's misfortune, i.e. Michael Carrick being moved on, means that a door's open for Rob and he's stepped through it. He understands what the remit is. The remit of that football club is top 6 at least, I believe, next season for Borough. And I think right now it feels like a very, very good fit. He's super personable, highly skilled, a great motivator of men and people. But when I say men, I mean literally the players that are on the pitch and people, i.e. everyone that's involved in a football club. So I'm intrigued to see how that works. And conversely with Ryan, a very well-respected coach, I've yet to meet anyone kind of on the record or off the record that kind of goes, not sure. Everyone seems fairly positive about Ryan. And
Dave, do you think that, sorry to interrupt. Do you think that's quite a tricky job? Because at West Brom, you've got this kind of conglomeration of there's been a takeover, like Corberon had them punching above their weight with the defensive style every time. And then it feels like they had the parachute team, then they tried with the free transfers with Wallace and Swift, and feels like that's all gone now. And he's, I mean, I suppose you could look at that as clean slate at a good club. That feels like a tricky job, to be honest. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I can see that, because you look at what Carlos did in the face of obviously players available, but what was going on off the pitch as well. Carlos was juggling quite a fair bit. He then obviously moves on. There's the homecoming of Tony, and I remember I was chatting somewhere, and again Tony. I met Carlos. He's lovely. He's very, very intense. I went to see him for a 10-minute chat. I walked out 2 hours later after a tactical masterclass going, I don't even know how to get in my car now. I was just staring at it going, what do I do? And then knowing Tony and seeing, particularly as well from a human point of view, what he's been through over the last couple of years and how he's dealt with it in the way that Tony Mowbray deals with everything with dignity, grace, and a really calm philosophical perspective. I said about him being a good fit for West Brom, and someone DM'd me on Instagram to tell me that I was talking shit. Which, and again, with that, unless it's horrendously offensive, I'll always say fair enough. If you're watching Baggies every week and some muppet on the telly goes, I don't think they should sack him. And they're going, sorry, we're watching them every single week. And I'm not getting it. I'm like, absolutely bow to your great knowledge and depth of it completely. So the change in that means, as you say, it's a hell of a first proper job. Obviously, his experience so far has thrust him into that number one spot, albeit very briefly. But I think it shows real ambition. The thing as well, the majority of what I find with managers that I speak to that are in jobs and out of jobs is having to get so many ducks in a row to make the job as tenable as possible for the longest period of time. And it's any form of employment that starts with, right, how much do I get when you sack me? Okay, brilliant. Right, let's work back from that before it goes rubbish, and hopefully for
and what 6 months, average a year? Yeah, like 30 games.
6 months. 6 months. I mean, a lot of them would take 6. Yeah, give me 6 months, definitely.
Oh, if I spoke to you in February, there'll be 10 new managers in the Championship. Yeah, and that sounds ridiculous to say that. No, you say it feels like that. Yeah. That will happen based statistically on the last 5 years.
And then we sit there and go, because the question that I'm always asked with that is, did they have enough time? But my version of enough time 15 years ago has absolutely gone like that. And I think broadly we're all on board with that. So, you know what I mean? Are you shocked they've gone? Well, unless it's literally one game, then probably not. No, if they've had a crap August, you're going, no. I mean, precedent has been set. And I just hope it doesn't keep going that way to the point where you kind of see managers on like rolling month. Let's see how we get on this month. See how we get on this month and see what happens. But with Ryan, I think it is tricky but tricky in a good way. All people that are involved in football are inherently competitive. So there'll be a bit in him that, as I said, very softly spoken to a degree. But what got him through the kind of absolute melee of being a younger footballer to being a professional footballer, that gives you some pretty serious minerals to draw on. And again, going through what he's been through, coming away from actually playing the game. Kieran McKenna, very similar. Softly spoken, finished early, bit between his teeth. You wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him, would you? My God. But he's been nice as pie all the time with me. But you think there's absolutely a switch there. There must be a switch in Ryan, because you don't get there without it, I don't think. As much as guiding football clubs is a little bit different in this day and age, I don't think if you don't have that switch, I don't think you get there. And I'm intrigued to see what he does, how his teams play, how he handles everything to do with it. He seems quite media savvy, which I think is quite a big thing nowadays. So yeah, but going back to the point you made, Ben, about the ownership, that kind of transitional period, it feels to me from a Baggies fans' point of view, they're probably sick of it being transitional, aren't they? Come on, let's stop with the transitional. Let's start kind of putting our foot down and being at least up there in the top 6, like the other 24 teams are all going, I think we should be in the top 6. Well, that's a big top 6 with all of you in it. That's crazy.
Mate, I did a poll, partly just to amuse myself on YouTube, and I put like the 4 options. Where do you think your team will finish next season? You know what's coming. Top 6, second quartile, third quartile, bottom 6. It was like 78% of fans think their team. And I'm like you. Right, okay. Yeah. That maths doesn't quite work for me. 50% of you are going to be disappointed. Brilliant stuff. Get your views in the comments. Particularly, I want to hear from fans of clubs who have got a new manager in. Who do you think is going to have the most impact?
Thank you for watching this clip, and please check out the full interview, which will be live this Sunday morning. It's fascinating.